World's strongest hustler, King Bumpeveli Johnson. World's strongest hustler, King Bumpeveli Johnson. They know me by that, but I'm also known as. I gotta look up this way. The Fan. Now, mind you, I see me on my. If y'all see this on the B.A.N.G TV page, I don't want to confuse y'all. There's certain things I do on certain platforms, like for my platform. When this thing right here, I said I had to put it on the Fan platform. The Fan is something that I do when I talk as a fan. And there's nothing wrong with being a fan. I don't give a fuck. In order for y'all to get y'all money, in order for rappers to get what they need, you need fans. So you can't be like, oh, you fans, no, well. You got to be a fan of this thing in order to really. Some people just be tapped in to be tapped in, but you have to be some sort of fan. I need more light. I think I'm gonna get some more light in. I'm giving myself some more light in. You need to be some kind of fan. There we go. Of the culture. Gotta be a fan of the culture. You can't just. And you can't say motherfuckers is fanned out. This light is crazy. Motherfucker, you can't say motherfuckers is fanned out. That's what niggas say needs to be fanned out. That's not right neither for no rapper to say, because like I said, and that's why sometimes the fans be feeling entitled because they feel like I bought your stuff. I did stuff. I purchased. So you owe me. But it's not how it really goes. Anyway, so me being the fan of the culture of hip hop, I grew up. See, like I said before, I said this before, and I don't want nobody to be upset. Oh, I was supposed to change. Damn. I was supposed to change the name. I still got my Bang Bang Morning Show thing up here. Is there any way I could change it? Let's see. Yes, I could edit the name. All right, we're gonna edit the name real quick. I'm calling this one The Fan Podcast. The Fan Podcast came from Bumpeveli. All right, bow. Now, here we go. The Fan Podcast. We good. So I said, last time I was on here, I did the Jim Jones joint, right? I did that through B.A.N.G TV. I should have did it as the fan because the questions because I ask questions hoping that the artist watches this. If he doesn't, he doesn't. The fans themselves could say whatever they want. The people watching could say whatever they want. But it'd be dope if I can get sometimes. I do this for the culture. I'm not doing this for no side. I'm not on the dirty side. I guess I'm trying to be on the side of where the good side is at. I like to have a good time. I like to talk about good stuff. B.A.N.G TV itself, we are like a CNN. We are like a TMZ. The story comes out. We want the story like everybody else. I always say, though, we have integrity over here because it's just me. It's not, I don't have like a mad group of people, right? It's a lot of goon, whatever, street guys. But as far as me doing the actual stuff, I'm not, there's certain things I just don't report. There's certain things I don't talk about. And my main thing about me, if anybody knows me, they going that way, I go this way. They go up, I go there. I told you that I'm not the guy that's going to go the same way everybody goes. But I play devil's advocate a lot. I definitely do play devil's advocate a lot. So what I was saying that, I don't want to be too loud. I was saying that, so if you see the title here, right? Let me make it a little bigger, right? I'm going to be telling stories about rappers that I met, even up to date. I'm going to tell you how it went. Because I never just meet a rapper, hey, how you doing? Sometimes I have the hey, how you doing? But there's always some kind of light interaction. And today, so the title of my stories, when I tell the stories, I was outside. Because I was outside. I was outside when a lot of y'all wasn't outside. Some guys, they don't know me because I don't know you. Because I was outside. I don't know. When you was outside, we wasn't outside at the same times. That's basically what it is. I'm from the South Bronx. I always tell you that, from 167th Street. I'm really from 166 and Finley Avenue. Right? I was born in the South Bronx. I was born in Bronx, Lebanon. Right? But but I lived everywhere in the Bronx, all sides of the Bronx. I lived there. I lived on Briggs Avenue, 194th and Briggs. I lived other than my mother, depending where she was living at after, I got older, you know what I mean? But we do the Bronx. We some Bronx people, you know what I'm saying? And we not from here. We foreign. My mom's from England. My father's from Honduras. Your grandfather's Jamaican. I'm telling you the whole roundup so you understand who you're dealing with and what you're talking to here. I am a child of hip hop. I was one of those kids that was little, that was 5 and 6, and the gods and the god bodies and the 5%ers, whatever was going on, was saying things like, I'm the future. And they would. I just remember grown-ups listening to me. I don't know why the hell they was listening to me, but I guess whatever I was saying was and my understanding was so dope that they just thought I was just gonna be some kind of something. They thought it was gonna be something, right? I guess I'm something. Anyway, with all that being said, I am from the South Bronx for real. A lot of guys is like, there's guys that's older than me that's been outside. And then you got some motherfuckers that after I left the Bronx, that was like still outside there, you know what I mean? Or lurking around or whatever the case may be. But I was the kid that was outside. I seen everything. I seen every rapper. I seen a lot of rappers before they became your favorite rappers. I seen rappers or actors before they became somebody. But this story today is about Fat Joe. Now, I'm telling this story about Fat Joe right on time because the last couple of episodes of the Jada and Joe show, Fat Joe was talking about the dirty side. Now I don't know if my last one, I don't know if one of my last joints I did on YouTube was talking about the dirty side. I mentioned it. Like I said, I wasn't a part of the dirty side. I know my people is over there, my homies is over there, but I think today I'm gonna clean up so well. You can't whoop me. After this, there's no way. After you watch this, if Fat Joe see this, he's gonna love this. Because I told you, let me tell you something. Let me go back again about me. What made me start podcasting was the fact that what made me start podcasting the way I wanted to start podcasting was the fact that Big Brother Noriega did Drink Champs. When I heard Drink Champs, because I'm going to keep it real with you, a lot of y'all are watching Drink Champs. I used to listen to Drink Champs. You know what I'm saying? So listen to, shout out to DJ DJ EFN. That's my guy. I talk to him. I text him all the time. I tell him Happy New Year. I don't harass him. I know he got stuff going on. I'll be like, yo, how can I be down? How can I be down? I don't do none of that. I don't harass them, but I talk to him every once in a while. I try to get him to watch some of my work. I haven't really had him watch my work yet. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not here to be on the dirty side. I'm not here to do all that craziness. Yo, I'm not. I just can't. I don't have it in here. I don't have it. I'm the guy you be like, I'm the guy that says what I like about the person. You tell me all the crappy stuff about them. I don't know. So I go off what I know. When I told my Biggie Smalls story, now I didn't tell it again here. I'm going to tell it again. I told it on another platform, but tell it again here. Because like I said, it turned me when I met Biggie Smalls. It twisted me around. I was young though still, but it twisted me around. But this one's about Fat Joe. So once again, Fat Joe, South Bronx, Forest Projects. Now, when I came up, Forest Projects, my grandmother lives on Prospect and Union. Not too far. It's because it's Prospect, it's Forest, it's Prospect Jackson Forest or Prospect Forest Jackson. I think it's Prospect, the block, because it's not a projects. And then it's Jackson, and then it's Forest, if I'm saying it correctly, right? And I used to hang out all over there. Never no problems, no bullshit. Nobody ever tried to do nothing. I seen a lot of stuff over there, but nothing ever happened to me. I had to I went over there for some action too. I think we went over there to hang out with somebody that's about the action. Something we went over there for. Right in front of Fat Joe's building. Because I remember the guys like, here's Fat Joe building. He lived right here. Blah, blah, blah. I used to be here. All this stuff. Anyway. So I just got a bunch of Fat Joe stories. I don't have nothing crappy to say about Fat Joe. I'm sorry. I'm going to look for a crappy. I'm going to tell you stuff in between. It's going to be a lot about Fat Joe. I'm gonna tell you stuff in between. I'm gonna tell you all kinds of, I'm gonna mention all kinds of stuff. And I might not have time all the way together, but we're gonna tell these stories about Fat Joe. Fat Joe, because I know he doesn't like the dirty side. So let me get into it. So he's talked about the dirty side. Now, when you say the dirty side, you think of the homies over here. Think of some of the big homies. You think of some of the main, who y'all would think the main faces of the dirty side, like my brother Zeke. Hold on, trying to get me a lighter. My brother Zeke Black, the homie Mikey B, China Brim. There's all kinds of people who horse around. They who on the dirty side. So when people say the dirty side, I think automatically the dirty side, the faces that we know on the dirty side, get offended thinking Fat Joe's talking about them specifically. Um, should I go right into the defense or should I go into the stories? It's a mixture of both. Like, anyway, I'm trying to horse around. I'm trying to get this right because I don't want to. I want to tell the stories. I don't want to go into defense mode yet. So let's play around. So Fat Joe, South Bronx, right? He had the record Flow Joe, big record for the Bronx. During the time, people don't understand. During the time when Fat Joe dropped Flow Joe, right? Because everybody, the record we had the code on, that was Fat Joe's first and biggest record. You got a Flow Joe, right? The South Bronx didn't have nothing. It's been a long time since we had a South Bronx. It's been long since we had a KRS-One. And we had was Tim Dog out before him? I think Tim Dog was out. Was he out before him or around the same time? It might have been after. We didn't have nothing. I'm just trying to find out if we had something here. Did we have something? Somebody? And I don't think we had somebody like repping the Bronx in a long time. So when Fat Joe came with Flow Joe, which I had heard on what's that show called? I don't know if it was. It's not. It wasn't called. It was I don't know if it was Future Flavors or Pump It or Dump It. Pump It or Dump It was a show. It might have. It's either Pump It or Dump It or Future Flavors. They played the record on something, right? It was playing on the radio. I remember it was. I feel like it was in something against another record, right? I don't know who the record was that he was against. If I'm wrong, Fat Joe, you seeing this? Correct me. But I feel like he was on Pump It or Dump It or Fuse or something on the radio, and then the record was like it won. I feel like it won something. And we're hearing the record all over the radio. It's pumping. Then when the video is, that's why I said, so back in the video music box time and during the video era, the video is what you was waiting for. The song could go. You could play that song forever. It could go. But once you got the video for it, the visuals, forget it. So when he drops the video, he got the army coat on. Fat Joe got the half moon. He still had some hair. He says he still had some hair. He was Fat Joey. He was like, oh snap, this is it. Fat Joe came through, bum rushed it, right? Had Flo Joe, um, and then with Flo Joe, he was outside. He was everywhere. Fat Joe. One thing I'm gonna say about Fat Joe in the South Bronx, he was all over the Bronx. Like he was out when he says he's outside. That's why I know I was out. I was outside. I'm a little guy. He's been outside. So if I'm outside, when you're outside, you see certain people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I've been able to tell these stories. I was outside. It doesn't mean I was outside like with the jewelry on now and judge. I was a little nigga. I just was outside a lot. A lot of groups with a lot of different groups of people and things, depending on what I was doing. So I was outside a lot. But when I was outside, I see Fat Joe a lot everywhere. Even the picture, I'm going to explain the picture. Fat Joe, when he sees the picture, he's going to be like, that outfit looks familiar. He's going to be like, yo, that outfit, watch. We're going to get into it. So Fat Joe's outside. So Fat Joe has the Flow Joe joint. Now, so for me, I'm going to say it again. My mama worked and went to school, right? My mom was a young lady. She was young at the time in the 20s. and still trying to make it. My mom's leave me in the crib and she'll go to school and she'll go to work, right? Do what she got to do. I hold it. That's how I learn how to be independent. I stay in the crib, Ma. I know I'm 6. I know I'm 7. It's okay. I'm staying in the crib. I know I'm 12. You know what I mean? But let me fast forward. So Fat Joe, by 1990, what was Flo Joe? 92? Flo Joe was like 92, right? 93? Hold on, let me see. Let's find out when Flo Joe came out. I think it was 92. I'm nice. I bet you I'm nice. 92. I don't think it was 93, 92. Let's play. Let's try it. Let's try it. A little hip hop history on here. Like I said before, sometimes the bloggers that's on here that's trying to get the rep or whatever, they be having their reps. They probably did jail time. They probably did street stuff too. But sometimes they be a little younger and they don't really be knowing the full history of stuff. Sometimes you gotta have somebody that's a little older, tell some of the stories or talk about some of the artists because they'll really know. And that's what it be. And I know, I'm telling you, here I go. Let's go find out Flo Joe. Let's find out Flo Joe, right? I'm even asking. When did Fat Joe's Flo Joe came out? What year? 93. So I was wrong. 93. So I was in my teens already. I was just touching my teens. That's the best way to say it without, you know what I mean? I was just touching my teens. So like I said before, and you're right. Hip hop went through Redman. We had Redman already by 2? We had Redman in 2, right? I'm trying not to mess it up. I don't want to keep doing the go back into hit. I hate doing it, but I don't want to be wrong. I want to make sure we got it right. Redman. The what album? What year? 92, right? Okay. All right. I want to make sure I'm right. I'm going right. Just chill. I'll be a little off. But like I said, Redman, 92. We had all that other stuff coming through, and then Fat Joe came out. And it was hard street music from the Bronx, so we definitely was rocking with it. Fat Joe had his foot on everybody's neck. Now, I'm home every day. And I come from school, I'm home already if it's a holiday or whatever, right? You off for the holidays or whatever. I know I'm tuned into Video Music Box. I did not have cable. I didn't have MTV. I didn't have VH1. Whatever channel was popping in at cable around 92, 91. It didn't have cable yet. We're watching Video Music Box. I'm 11. Look, channel 11, channel 5, channel 7, channel 2, channel 4. 31 for Video Music Box, 13 for Sesame Street. I'm a New York nigga for real. Okay? All right. I'll let you know. So Fat Joe was all over Video Music Box. Yeah. That's why when you see him on the microphone hosting, it's not new. That's not new to me. I've seen Fat Joe babysat me. Uncle Ralph too. No, dead ass. I be saying that because, like I said, my mom's wasn't home. I'm a young dude. I'm home. Scary times in the Bronx. I lived in the South Bronx. A lot of stuff. We've been robbed. All kinds of stuff. And I'm home. And the thing that's keeping me content is I think Video Music's about to come on for like an hour or 2.5 hours, something like that. Good times be on for a long time. And I'm sitting in front of there not moving, just watching videos. And Fat Joe, early Video Music Box, used to be on there hosting. Let me fact. Matter of fact, what are we doing?
Music Box, we got my man Big L, who we putting it on with King Capri, representing the real Lennox. Let him know.
139 Analytics, the danger zone, alright? Check the video out, it's fat.
Hey yo, I was looking at the source, and they gave you 4 mics and all that. They gave you mad props, portable. What's up? Who you represent, and you know what it's about? Let them know.
I check it out. I got a brand new single. It's called Put It On. It's in stores right now. Produced by Buck Wow. I got an LG remix. I'm representing Bigger Than the Crates. My man Fat Joe, Diamond D, Show Biz and AG. My man Lord Finesse, he's right there. Alright.
Alright. Check this out. If you ain't go out there and cop it yet, my man Big L put it on. One of the nicest MCs. Brother Spear, DITC, recognize.
Fat Joe had a flat top. Look, he had a flat top. That's the Fat Joe I grew up with watching. So that's the Fat Joe I grew up watching. You see my twin. That's another guy I met. I don't have a long story for Big L. My story's super short. But a good one too. But I can even tell it now. Big L got me some ass. Pause. I told girls I was him on the cover of the Danger Zone joint because it came in a tape and you really couldn't see his face and we similar. I used to tell girls that was me. It worked like 3 times and then after a while it didn't work no more. But I used to tell, and then when I did get to meet him, he used to come to the Bronx. I forgot what part of the Bronx. He used to come to the Bronx. There's some people in the Bronx. And I remember the girl was like, he look like you. Y'all look alike. And he was like, yeah, sure. He was like, he's a slick talking guy. So he was like, he could rap. Talking about me. So I rapped for Big L, right? But it wasn't no bust. I was messing up. I was nervous. I was looking on the floor. You know what I mean? I don't remember what he was even. I just know he was like, shorty, all right. You all right, shorty? You all right? Shorty, you all right? You shorty, all right? I was like, oh, all right. You know what I mean? And then I didn't see him again. But yeah, other than that's a whole nother story. Fat Joe. Not all the time of it, but majority of the time, early video music box, Fat Joe be in the hood, he'd be in Forest Projects, he'd be in the nastiest part of the Bronx where the buildings were still bad. Fat Joe was outside. He was outside. Got to see Fat Joe. I got something else with Fat Joe. Let me see. He was outside. So I grew up watching Fat Joe on TV and stuff like that. Now let me go into, so I started talking about a couple of things, right? Talking about Fat Joe here, Forest Projects. And he definitely was outside. So let me get into, I'm trying to keep going with the stories. Let's keep going with the stories. Let me see if I got something else with Joe, or something else I could use or whatever. Let's see if we got something else here. It's not giving me what I'm looking for. I know what it got. I'm trying to find these pics. But Fat Joe, like I said before, man, he was outside. That's one thing I could say. And I'm going to get to more stories. Like, so just because when I say he's outside and he's on video music box, that's not even what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man, I'm trying to find these pichoros. I'm trying to find these pics. I don't know what happened to my pics. I had some pictures I downloaded. I don't know what happened to them. They didn't give me my pictures. Oh, I know why. No, I just tried that, right? So anyway, Fat Joe, I'm still trying to find these pictures. I'm trying to get this all set up nice. Shout out to Fat Joe, man. I go when they go left, I go right. Oh, and I listen. Hey, I got this thing sitting here. So any story I tell on this thing here, I swear on everything I love, anything I saw, anything story I'm telling is the truth, the whole truth, and all that special stuff. Jesus, I love you. He loves me. Okay. I'm saying I'm not playing. I'm just horsing around. Want to say all the special words like I know what to say. I'm just saying it's sitting right here as we speak. Let me move it out the way because I'm smoking and joking. So, like I said before, Fat Joe used to be outside. He was on video music box. Here we go. That's why I couldn't find it. Right. Let's go here. Picture Joe. All right, cartoon picture Joe. So he was outside. Fat Joe is outside. Young Fat Joe. You see him with the flat top video music box. So now you go outside, right? I'm a youngin'. I'm outside. I'm moving around with certain people now. I'm starting moving with the rough crowd. If that's 93, by 94, 95, you see what I'm in my teens, right? My fault, y'all. But it be feeling like the 90s was like really like the 90s was fast, but it was like slow. Like the time went slow to me. Like it didn't like I was playing around with my age. The time was going so slow. So 93, a lot of stuff was happening. 94. So like by 94, I remember yo, Fat Joe, if you're watching this, whatever happened to the Buddha Club? Whatever happened to the Buddha Club? Now, there are going to be things I'm going to say in between that, but he knows these. He's heard these stories. So the story used to be in the Bronx. I'm gonna tell you all the Bronx. I'm gonna say all the Bronx shitty shit that we used to say in the Bronx. Not we, but people said. Let's keep it real. Fat Joe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if he owned the club or hung out there, but it was a club called the Buddha Club, right? I think after some fights, they shut it down. It used to get crazy. There used to be a lot of spooky guys moving around over there, right? I was over there with some spooky guys at one time, like hanging out and shit. I was a little dude, you know what I mean? I'm hanging out with them, but I was into whatever they was into, I was with it. But and I remember us seeing Fat Joe. He had this nice, I forgot what he had some nice shit on. He had a nice joint on his neck. His chain was crazy. He had some crazy on his neck, right? And you know how young niggas talk. Yo, get that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I feel like he came to the group of us and was talking to somebody in the group, and we was looking at it. I forgot listen, that's where it get foggy at. I don't remember the conversation. I don't remember what was going on, who he came over to talk to. Maybe just seen a group of niggas. Fat Joe not scary though, right? But the rumor, I'm gonna go to the rumor. The rumor was that I heard was that that same chain we saw him wearing. Because this is why I said Fat Joe would be weird with me and Fat Joe. Fat Joe, the chain he was wearing that we saw that night, that I heard a rumor. Fat Joe, if I'm wrong, I'm not saying, like I said, I didn't say this happened. You know, other people, yeah, I heard it, he happened. I heard, because remember, it's on your album cover. You got it on your album cover. When you got the $150 on the neck. And I remember niggas saying they try to $150 you for your chain off your neck. That same exact chain. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was the Mary within the box. I don't remember what you had, but it was crazy though at the time. And we saw the chain. Niggas, yeah, if you want to get the chain, you should rob him, blah, blah, blah. But your niggas know Fat Joe. He would fix little niggas, grab somebody's wrist or something. You know what I'm saying? 90s Puerto Rican guys are gonna run from over that Buddha Club and fix our shoes, fix our little Nikes up. You know what I'm saying? I have to say niggas was scared. That's the whole point. Niggas wasn't scared. Niggas had hammers, all kind of stuff, but nothing happened. Niggas was just front, the tough guy stuff. But I heard a rumor that after we seen him, I'm not saying the same night. I don't know if it was during the time, but I heard somebody try to rob him for that chain. That's where he got the big $150 in the back of the neck because somebody tried to buck him and take the chain. That was always the rumor that we heard in the Bronx. Don't know if how true it is, Fat Joe. If you're watching, you think it's the dirty side, somebody shitting on you. I just want to know if that was true or not. If it's not true, then hey, it's not true. But I know that was always a rumor in the Bronx that tried to $150 you for that nice chain you had. That's why you had the scar on the back of the neck, and I think you put it on your insert. You didn't put it on your album cover. You put it on the insert of your album, with the $150 and just had a chain or whatever. Because I don't think they got the chain. That was the whole thing. So I never say he took the chain. He tried to get you for the chain. Was the story? All right. So you had that. Then so now for me with Fat Joe, so I'm outside, I'm in the streets still. I'm a young kid, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, Fat Joe's outside. So that's one scene. But I think after that, I used to hang out in the summertime, I hang out on Prospect Avenue. My father used to be over. My father, my uncles, all of them, they grew up over there from Honduras. They running around crazy, doing all kinds of crazy shit over there in Prospect, running around with everybody in the areas. They was wilding, right? Good dudes, but they was wilding. So I would hang out over there for the summertime. I either hang over there, or I hang out um I hang out on my in my area, whatever the case may be, right? So Hold on, make sure I don't want to get no back. I feel like I'm getting some back sound from my shorties. Little little stuff. All right. Anyway, so um yeah, so I go hang out over there, or I be on my block and chill. Anyway, we like to play baseball. Baseball was our stuff. We was hood niggas that like to play sports. Cause when you in the Bronx, I'm not gonna lie to you. When you in the South Bronx, there is nothing else to do. Like rapping is a part of our DNA. We rap, we freestyle, we do all that stuff since kids. Everybody does it in the Bronx. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's in our DNA. Everybody, grandma can rap, everybody can rap. But during the 90s, sports, being outside and sports was definitely a thing, trying to find some kind of sports. So there was baseball. I forgot what we had a team, and our team would go play against Forest Projects. And I think Fat Joe was sponsoring the that team or the whole little baseball league that was going on. I think he was trying to like kind of sponsoring it. And we would go to Forest over there, somewhere over there, and play baseball against their team if we get that. We went there like twice in that area to go play them. I feel like I remember. I'm not gonna say I feel like I remember Fat Joe pulling up, like coming to those events, and pulling up for even if it's a little while and pull up for the kids and shit. I think he was supporting his team, his actual team. If I'm not mistaken, Fat Joe, once again, you can always fix me up and say, yo, listen, nah, but yeah, he was either sponsoring that team for Forest or sponsoring the whole little baseball thing for all of us to even play. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. He would pull up, bro. He would be there, whatever the case may be. I missed them one year to go smoke weed. I told you I was a teen. I was probably like 14, 13, something like 14, 13, 14, going 15. So I was probably smoking a lot of weed then, starting to smoke a lot of weed and missing shit. Word, Fat Joe was over there, we coming. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then through the years, you hear like so you see that, but then you hear stuff. Like early Fat going back to early Fat Joe, like video music box Fat Joe. That Fat Joe, if you're outside standing around long enough, I've heard a few times like Fat Joe, yo, a bunch of dudes got into a fight. Fat Joe and them niggas, mad dudes, and they was fighting, mad black dudes, mad Spanish dudes were fighting this or something like that, and be like Fat Joe. Like you used to hear his name getting into fights in the street a little bit, a little something, but you'll hear something, right? Um, the time, so there was a time, so boom, right? I'm gonna tell you this other story. So there was one time we went to the studio, right? I'm on Finley Avenue, 166. Fat Joe, you know the block, the Six Wild. You know it. I forgot who you knew over there, but the 16 Wild, 166 Finley Avenue, that corner store right there. You know that used to be lit. Um, so I remember we went to the studio, right? And I wasn't rapping then. I was doing like I did like a little sound effect. Hiya, something. I did a little noise or something. All right, so what? Right? So what? I did a little ad lib or something. I don't know what you called that back then. I did something. I did it was the time like everybody gonna get on the track. What you want? You guys could do something. I used to make little funny little noises or hiya, mimic stuff. I don't know. So I was on the record doing that. It didn't mean nothing. But on the track is my man from it was my man from Florida. Um, this is my man from Florida. Somebody else. I can't remember who else it was. And my man L. Call him L, right? My nigga Leon. Hey, turn that down. Sorry. That's in my headphones. So my fault. So boom, right? So they get on the track, they do the track, right? We go do the tracks. I forgot in the Bronx. I forgot I had the dudes' names. I can't remember their names, man. They was in the north part of the Bronx, like going towards like the Allenton and all those areas out there and all. I can't remember what part of the Bronx. I'm telling you, good memory, bad memory. I just remember the stories. Don't get me about places. Got ADD. I can't tell you names of blocks that good. I can remember the ones I can remember, but I'm horrible at talking about blocks and remembering. ADD doesn't allow me to do that. So know what I'm saying? So so They do the track, right? They do the track, boom. So the track is out. They playing the track outside in front of the building and shit. I'm young, so I'm upstairs. Like my mom's, like I told you, she didn't play. My mom's didn't let me outside past a certain time. I wasn't hanging out in the streets. My mom's didn't let me do none of that. So I could be out my window. So I'm in my window, and we don't have cell phones. We only got phones. So they would have to go inside to call me, right? So boom, right? I'm looking out the window. I see the car. I see everybody going to the car, right? I forgot what kind of car it was. I don't really remember. It might have been a white Benz. It might have been a white Benz or a BMW. It might have been. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. But Joe would know. And once again, if you're watching this, Fat Joe, if you had a white BMW about 1994, maybe top of five, somewhere 94. Let's say 94, 94, 94. White Benz. Fat Joe, did you have a white Benz in 1994? If you do, if you did, you didn't, I don't know. If you do, if you did, then that's what's up. I got my right imagination. I don't know, but I feel like it was a white Benz or a white BMW. Pardon self. I feel like a white Benz. Make a long story short, this white Benz pulls up. I see a lot of people running to the white Benz, right? Then I looked and then noticed it was my man. I see him telling somebody to go get something. So I knew he probably telling him to go get the tape, right? So he gets the tape. Fat Joe puts it inside of with his the best way I said it was a Benz or BMW, puts it in. The song is playing, it's going. Everything was cool. Everything seemed fine. What got weird was when it got to my man L's verse, he started running away. But he ran because his brother came. And what happens now is Big Bro says, "Hey yo, that's those are my rhymes. He's spitting my rhymes. Like bugging. Take that tape out of there, whatever." And then, I guess Fat Joe passed the tape back and he drove off. And then I guess Big Bro commenced to go beating up my man. And then we come to find out that's when my friend goes inside. He waits a while. I don't know how long it took, maybe 15 minutes or whatever. And then he finally calls me and tells me what happened. Like that was his brother's rhymes he was spitting. And I was like, damn, because the rhymes, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, he was like, I used to write, but I wasn't ready. But he had, I'm like, he younger than me. I hang out with him. How you get that night? Yo, he was saying some stuff, Coco. He was saying some like nature. Nature wasn't even out yet. Like, but his brother, um, what's my nigga name, bro? I don't know if his name was Fafa too. It was like two of them. But my man, that was my nigga though, bro. Nigga was grimy type dude. But that nigga, he was nice though, fam. His rhymes were crazy, like, and he lived a wild life. He was one of them dudes that, like, he went to jail for shooting somebody over stepping on the sneakers type vibe. Like that's the '90s type stuff. Like he clapped somebody for stepping on his Jordans or something like that, and they were playing ball. You know what I mean? Young dude stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he's always been like a wild dude. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that so Fat Joe drove off, and then what I mean. If that was opportunity, it was definitely lost for after that one. You know what I'm saying? But Fat Joe took the time to pull up to on a block and listen to somebody's stuff, which was fire. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know what I mean? After that, um, Fat Joe continue to move around the Bronx. You always seen you, like I said, Fat Joe was like you'll be walking down 149th, you'll be walking somewhere, and Fat Joe just be standing there, like having a conversation with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. It don't always be like big cars, and because Fat Joe, like I said, Fat Joe was getting money. You know what I mean? I told you pulled up in nice stuff, but this time you see Joe just chilling, like standing around talking to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Regular shit. I think Fat Joe didn't even know how famous he was because I think people used to be scared to approach him. Like, what up, Joe? I think people would do it too. But I think a lot of people wouldn't do it in the Bronx. And I think that's what sometimes it made him feel like he wasn't famous enough. But niggas just be scared to approach Joe. Like, and then there was the time. So the picture. Let's go to the picture. Let me go to this picture, right? Let's go to the picture. So the picture of Fat Joe wearing this hat and this jacket. There was a time, Joe, and you see he's in a van. Joe knows I'm not lying. Joe, this is how you know I'm not lying. Fat Joe was riding around the Bronx. He was chilling. I don't know what was going on. He was wearing this Indiana Jones type hat, and he was wearing one of those cowboy. What do you call them? Like it has the flap in the back, like the Western shit, the long. He was wearing that, riding around in a Let me get the van right. He was in a it was called the oh man. What was the van that niggas was messing with? It's gonna come to me. Fuck. It was a damn yo. What was the Vans back then? He was wearing the cowboy hat with the raw hide. That's what it's called, cowhide, whatever, brown. And he was in a not a Yukon. What was the old van, man? Watch him again. I'm about to find it. I gotta find it. It's not gonna come to me because just say no sometimes. Just because you see me doing little pot, I mean you go do it too, because it makes you forgetful. Um, it's not coming to me. I can't believe. I always say this story, and I can't remember the name of the van. We're gonna find the name of the van right now. Watch. Don't come to me. Yep, he was driving around in a Windstar. Yes, he was. Fat Joe was wearing the cowboy hat, the rawhide joint, and riding around on a Windstar Dolo. And I remember I was walking to I think my shorty house or something on what is this block? I know the school 145, the junior high school's on that block. I can't remember the name of the block. It's right there around the corner. They had the battle with Jay-Z and DMX, if I'm not mistaken. It's in that store right there around the corner. And he was looking at me. I was looking at him, nodding my head and stuff. But he's just mad riding around, just wearing it, looking, in the Windstar, wearing that. With Joe, what was going on? What was happening there? You had the Windstar, you had the raw cowboy joint with the hat. I don't know what was going on. I saw you. Okay. It's Fat Joe. Okay, that's Fat Joe. Type, Fat Joe. He was a grin like, he had the serious regular face. He looking, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, when you see Fat Joe, you just don't. I think fat niggas be Fat Joe think Wayne is me. But I seen him in so many places. I seen him so many times. I be thinking he think Wayne is me. But anyway, so now I'm gonna tell you another story. I'm just trying to tell my stories. Then I'm gonna get into all the other stuff. I'm gonna play some special stuff and talk about what y'all want to get into and why he's saying what he's saying and all that special stuff. Fat Joe has this nice Lexus. Joe, you know this story. You told this story recently. Fat Joe has this nice Lexus, right? Red Lexus parked outside towards like I want to say 149th, 148th. He had a little barber shop over there. Because now around this time, Fat Joe has bought, and I gotta add something to it too. It's gonna be some good stuff. Fat Joe is buying a lot of properties in the Bronx. Let me tell y'all something about Fat Joe. He's not a dummy. Very smart dude. On that street, yeah, I'll slap you. Yeah, definitely. But he bought a lot of properties, whether they did good or not. When I say a lot of properties, like a lot of properties, like Fat Joe bought a property, right? He was buying them up. Remember, he has the store. He has the store on 149th Street in the Bronx, right? He has a store on 149th Street in the Bronx. But he on my block he like went to 167th Street in Teller. I'll make sure I'm saying it right. Teller Avenue. At the end of Teller Avenue on 167, there's two stores. There was like I think right now it's always been a hair salon or a barber shop. They always have it set up for that. I'm not sure if that's what it is now, but it's always was a hair salon and a barber shop set up over there on the corner. And then around the corner, there's always a little corner store there that they just couldn't get it right. Nobody could just get it right with that corner store. And I remember Fat Joe bought it. The reason I put a Pun's picture, because in this store, this I think it was a video store. It's supposed to be a new video store, right? So we go into this new video store, right? Me and my man. My man goes into the store because he's telling me, because like I said, we young. So sometimes you can't get bud. This the era where you had to go into the weed spot, the weed store. You know what I mean? You had to go. Guess why? When they be like selling drugs to kids, like we was kids, we was buying weed. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they sell us the weed, like, and sometimes niggas won't, depending on who it is, what's going on. But a lot of the times we get the weed. But those spots, they be funny. They don't be want to serve because they don't be want to mess nothing up. Going to this spot on 167th Street and Teller Avenue. I don't want to say it's Morris, it's Teller Avenue. Um, and when we get in there, we see Big Pun. Now at the time, he wasn't Pun yet. He was still Big Dog Punisher. So we get in there, we walked in, we looked around. He's right at the glass. He's not a small guy. And he wasn't as big at the time. And this is Pun with the shortcut and the bandana and the headband. And he's leaning in the window. We looking, right? Looking around. My man like, oh, yo, that's he didn't even say the name right. He said, that's Big Joe, Fat Joe. Oh. I said, I knew, because I know my music. And I'm tapped in. I'm a mixtape guy at the time. I forgot how I got to see Punisher's face. I don't know what I saw, why I knew who he was. And I go, nah, it's not Fat Joe, bro. That's Big Punisher, right? He was like, yeah. So I'm telling you, that's Punisher. That's what I'm like, whatever. That's cool, whatever. That's dope or fly, whatever I said during the time. Then I was like, this is exactly on my daughter's head, on her hair, my daughter's hair. Matter of fact, where's the right here? My man said, "Oh snap, that's Big Joe, Fat Joe." I was like, "Nah, that's Big Punisher, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I said, "Yo, do y'all got the movie Delirious in here?" He said, "Nah." I was like, "Oh, all right, cool." I was like, "Yo, but y'all got weed?" He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." I was like, "All right, cool. That's what we really want to know. All right, cool. All right, we'll be back. We'll be back." He like, all right, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt." And we left. Did we go back there? Yeah, I feel like we went back and got some weed. We're not the same hour, but we went back, got some weed. He was still in there, and then that was it. I never saw Big Pun there again. But Fat Joe owned the store. Then the store closed down after a while. It closed down, but he has the joint on 149th Street called Halftime. Close expensive Joe. We do know why we niggas don't shop in there. He like, yeah, because you broke motherfuckers can't afford it. Fat Joe, that store was expensive. And even when you was up and said, let me go get something out of there. And if you do, you don't go back. Yeah, I forgot what I wanted out of there. It was something in there I was stressed. I got cool with niggas in halftime after a while. I think it was leather. It was something I wanted from them. I got something from there. Like I said, everybody gets something. Eventually, you get something, but very expensive store. You know what I mean? But yeah, we definitely seen Big Pun in that store. Fat Joe, once again, if I'm not telling the truth about the store, it's been some time now. Time has passed. You know what I mean? Unless Pun got that himself, and you had nothing to do with that store. But I felt like this is when you were buying a lot of prop. Fat Joe was buying, Fat Joe owned prop, like I said. So we're about to go to this other story with the barbershop. So Fat Joe had that property. Um, Let me see. Let's go here. Let me see if I got any more pictures. No. We gonna go here, but I'll go there after. I'll go there after. So let me just go back to Fat Joe's pictures. My guy Fat Joe. Let's go back to this one. All right, cool. So I know you probably like this guy's, how long we been on here? 51 minutes. That's cool. We rocking. We rocking, we rolling, we doing our thing. Because we're gonna fast forward and talk about all the other stuff. So, Fat Joe, nice car, Lexus, all red, beautiful candy apple red Lexus, parked out in front of this barber shop. Right? Same day. Same day. Right? Two brothers, two black kids across the street. That's me and my man across the street. And we're scheming on robbing the Icy Man. That was our hustle. We would rob the Icy Man, right? Because in that area, if Fat Joe knows, if I'm wrong, if I'm lying, I'm flying. The Icy Man be in the area because there's a park that's kind of like down the block. And the icy Man had everybody has a base. They have a base. I'm telling you, we used to scheme on them. I know it's bad. I'm not glorifying this. This is wrong. We was kids. We were just doing things to come up, and that's what we was doing. So we was scheming on the Icy Man. So boom, we scheming on the Icy Man, right? And as we're scheming on him in the area or scheming on Icy Men, never rob the women. We rob the men. Scheming on the Icy Men. That's how I got to see the red Lexus, candy apple Lexus in front of the barber shop. So Fat Joe comes out in the front, the car's outside, everything's great. He's out there like, oh snap, look at Fat Joe. Oh, he chilling. Like, yo, what if we rob the? I don't know. We kids. Because as I'm saying it now, it sounds stupid. Yo, let's rob the Icy Man in front of Fat Joe. He'd probably talk about it or something. Like, I don't know. We really, and we was kind of hell bent on doing that. Like, we wanted to really, if we can catch the Icy Man right there and Fat Joe see it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what we thought. I don't know what we were thinking. We didn't do it though. We didn't catch we caught one. We definitely caught one. But we didn't catch it in front of Fat Joe. We caught it way down the block or whatever, in the back block. We caught something though, went on home about our business. Same night. Same exact night. Hot 97. I don't remember whose show. I don't know if it was A.N.G. I don't know whose show, but then that's the story where what happened, Joe, that night to that red Lexus. They stole Fat Joe's red Lexus in the Bronx. Stole it. They said they caught the person, beat the brakes off him, all that. But that same day, that's why I said I'd tell you, in front of the barbershop, broad daylight, summertime, Fat Joe's out there in front of the barbershop. Everybody's chilling. It wasn't like mad people. But Fat Joe got the Spanish vibe. He got the Spanish dudes. They chilling. Everybody was chilling. I told you, when you see Fat Joe in the Bronx, it's not like, oh, Fat Joe. It feels like he might tell you, get up out of here. Get the fuck out of here. It felt like that. I don't know. It just felt like, but he was cool. But you know what I mean? It was just, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It was something about Joe you just didn't want to, you know what I mean? Anyway, after that, I seen a lot of Big Pun. I see him a lot. Okay, that's fam from the weed. Look, I used to be like, that's fam from the weed spot. I used to be like, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? I swear. Twice to three times. And then the Big Pun story. I'll go into the Big Pun story. So then Big Pun, the story is always that I forgot what club is under Jerome Avenue, but it's under the train line. And I know there was a club over there. Yeah, I know the club. And it always was this story. Somebody that Big Pun was cool with got into a fight in the club. And Big Pun pulls up in front of that club with 2 4/5 with his foot on the wall, waiting for niggas to come out so he can shoot whoever was having a problem with his man. I've heard somebody saw that with their eyes. the Fat Joe and Jay-Z hit in the head with the bottle thing. I heard that on my block from a dude who was out there that night that went to the club. So I heard Cuban Link tell a story. I heard Joe tell a story. I don't know. None of them stories have Jay-Z getting hit with a bottle. I don't think. I don't think nobody in that story has Jay-Z himself getting hit with a bottle. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was a Rockefeller member, I guess. Somebody got hit in the head with a bottle though in the Bronx from Rockefeller. That I'm not gonna lie to you. That's definitely a story I heard from a dude walk down the block like, yo, last night I was in the club, and it's like that. That was like a regular story. It's crazy for me because I heard that story on the block, and then you turn around and years later down the line, people still talking about that story. I'm like, yo, my man told me that story. Standing on the corner with all of us standing there, he walked down the block. Yo, I was in the club last. We all standing there listening to this. Like, word? Yeah, the Rockefeller niggas. He said niggas came in on some Rockefeller. He told a story. He told a story. But y'all told that story. But I'm telling you, I heard that story on my block, not in the news or not. I heard it on a corner, coming out the corner store, getting me a cake. I'm not gonna say I had a pack or nothing either, because I probably didn't have a pack, but I definitely had a cake. That's a fact. Um, where else I'm gonna go with the Fat Joe stuff, and then we're gonna get into it. Fat Joe also, so he tried to put a lot of people on with music. There was a lot of rappers that used to say used to be down with Fat Joe. Um, and then it just felt like not to be funny, Joe. It did feel like a time like he be saying it like at his Puerto Rican movement. It felt like you wasn't rocking with us like that. You was only rocking with the with Jacan. You was only rocking with the Spanish brothers. You already had brothers and dudes already in your squad. But if like you was really messing with the Spanish brothers a lot, you wasn't really messing with the Morenos like that. You wasn't messing with us. Felt like you wasn't really, if they're not famous, if they're not already there, it's like you wasn't really rocking with us. You was trying to start a movement. That's what it felt like for a little while, Fat Joe. Because these guys, not these actual guys, not these actual guys, not these actual guys, not the actual guys, but members that lived in Forest Projects that was repping Terror Squad was on it, especially around the Blood era. Like they wasn't playing. Cause I can't lie, the Bloods would try it, rob somebody for their coat, get crazy. Not these specific guys, but whoever was repping that Terror Squad, they was not playing, sending homies home, packing them up, backing out hammers on the homies. Like they was not having it. Like them Spanish dudes that was in Terror Squad was not having. Check out my shirt though. Check out my shirt. I'm super hip hop. They was not having it. They was not having it. So they was doing homies dirty. It was don't come in this projects with that, and them Terror Squad dudes will fix you. Niggas respected them guys. Like, don't play. Don't be at somebody's cousin house. Don't play. All right, my fault. Y'all keep drinking this drink. It's not liquor. It's just good water. Anyway, so they didn't play. Them Terror Squad dudes didn't play. They was kicking homies out the project. You come in the forest with the horse around, they'll horse you. They can get you up out of there. They'll fix your shoes. And they'll probably cut you trying to play, you know what I mean? And it'd be some nasty, dusty homie or something that try it. You know what I'm saying? So when they be like, you know how it goes. Um, and then it felt like Fat Joe he must have left the Bronx. Um, and when he left the Bronx, he says it. He said it. I'm gonna play it. Everything, a lot of stuff I'm saying is gonna say it too. There was a time like people was like, Fat Joe is, puss. I don't want to be cursing. Excuse my language. Fat Joe is pussy, and it's like everybody was saying, yeah, Fat Joe pussy. He pussy. Fat Joe's pussy. Why is he pussy? Why is Fat Joe pussy? What Fat Joe do? What made him pussy? He's just mad pussy. He's just pussy. It was really, it was go like that was the thing. That's why he says it. They were saying in the Bronx, everybody, Fat Joe pussy. He pussy. I don't know what happened. I couldn't get someone to tell me a story of why he was pussy. I needed the story on why they felt like that. Like, what was the story? What happened that made you say Fat Joe was pussy? And I think Fat Joe had left the Bronx and moved to Miami. I might be wrong. I might. Fat Joe should know. Because I think Pun was still outside. And Joe is around, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I because remember, no, I think Joe is still around. Let me tell you why I feel like I know Joe is still around. Because if you go to one of Pun's albums and Fat Joe's albums, remember there was one like Fat Joe Puss, and I think it's the dude slaps the dude in the skit, and then Pun posted pack in the Mac. Like it was a lot of stuff because people were saying stuff. They addressed it on albums. So the stuff I'm talking about, I'm not saying nothing far fetched, nothing crazy. I'm just trying to put you on to where stuff led to. And it bugs me out that the stories that some of the people tell online be stories I've heard in the street, like the day happened. I saw it with my eyes, and then people are still telling these stories. But I hear them, and they got glitches in them and different turns. And the Jay-Z hitting the head of the bottle, they said Jay got hit in the head with the bottle. Yeah, that's what they said, Jay, or did he say a Rockefeller member? That's why it gets cloudy to me. So you know what I'm saying. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of bad talk about Fat Joe for a little while in the streets. They were just saying, I don't know why they were saying that. And once Pun was there, they was you couldn't talk like that no more about Joe. None of that was happening. Pun will fix your shoes. Pun, the new terror squad, his guys will fix your shoes real good. They'll finish you up. And then the story goes on and on after that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get it. I don't know I'm not getting into who, what, where I fell. One thing I also will say is my first interview online, when online wasn't like really popping like that, my first interview, and it was by accident, was with um it was a terror squad member. It's my man. Was it Armageddon? I think it was Armageddon. I think it was Armageddon. I interviewed Armageddon by accident. Mind you, online didn't have microphones. We literally talked through the computer. You could hear his voice. I don't know what they did. I don't know what site. I forgot what site it was called. And it was me, my sister-in-law, my baby moms at the time, and we're supposed to be talking about rap, but I ended up interviewing him, and he wasn't. He what I could tell you exactly what he said. It's crazy, mind you. I did this interview. Oh man, this was like 07. This had to be like 07 maybe. It had to be a good 07. And it was Armageddon. It was Armageddon. Yep. I'm trying to make sure. Or was it Triple Sace? Nope, it was Armageddon. Oh snap! It was Armageddon. Armageddon is the one. It was Armageddon, and he just basically said what he had said was um because we were talking about the music industry, and then I like I do with anybody that I meet in the music industry. I don't mean to. I never ask questions. Like I think I knew there was problems with them, so I definitely tried not to ask about that. That wasn't my. I wanted to know about other things, but the way we start talking, they get comfortable and they start saying stuff. And what he said was he felt like that once Pun died, he really didn't care about the rest of the Terror Squad. Those were all like Pun's mans, like type shit. You know what I'm saying? On Fat Joe's defense, he's like he tried to get everybody a deal. You know what I mean? Again felt like once Pun was over, he really didn't really mess with everybody like that. Goes Cuban and everybody else, but really wasn't really trying to rock with Pun's actual team like that. You know what I mean? Because they were called Full Eclipse, the Full Eclipse crew. That was Pun's original crew, Full Eclipse with him and Cuban and the other men. Saying it was for Full Eclipse, but then it became Terror Squad under Fat Joe's joint. You know what I'm saying? Because he needed a squad to rep, so they became Terror Squad. So now let's get into we going over. We into an hour. We going over. I know I've been telling this long story. Like why? I don't want you to say why are you telling. So what's the point of these stories? I'm telling you my experiences of seeing Fat Joe, meeting Fat Joe, what Fat Joe was doing. And Fat Joe can say these are facts or not. You know what I'm saying? I know they're facts. He owned a lot of property. He had baseball teams. He was in the streets a lot. He would listen to your music. He was around. I haven't had a bad experience with Fat Joe. I'm telling you that, but I'm telling you the tides and the change. Even when the Bronx, like I told you, there's time people wasn't rocking with Fat Joe. There was a time people thought he was only messing with Spanish people, wasn't messing with the black people no more. There's a time people were saying Fat Joe was ass. He was ass. There was a time where the Terror Squad dudes was fixing all the homies and all that and doing them dirty. There was a time, yeah, those things. The time Fat Joe got his car stolen. There's a time Fat Joe got cut. Fat Joe was outside. So I'm telling you these times. Buddha Club. I'm just bringing up stuff that he could say, yeah, I had that. You know what I mean? Yeah, nah, yeah. You know what I mean? Because this is how much homework I've done. You know what I'm saying? I've been around and I was outside for these things. Like I said, the story of Jay-Z, all that stuff. I'm just confirming what's what. So let's fast forward. Let's hurry up and fast forward. Let's get to the not the nitty gritty, but let's get to the my favorite part of the show, which I'm the fan. I'm a fan, so I'm telling you as a fan these things. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty of me playing devil's advocate. I like to play devil's advocate, so let's play devil's advocate real fast. All right, so we're gonna go to video fast. Let's try that. Right, let's go to this right here. Should we go here first or there first? Let's go. Let's go here, right? Let's go here first.
On everybody, it's your boy Cuban Link, man. I had to say this, right? Because once again, you go check out the Joe and Jada Kissing Crack show, the podcast. I seen the clip, right? And to come find out, it's funny. It's funny. Once again, you go check out the.
You know what? Let me do this the right way. All right. Let's do this the right way. Because now that I watched this already, then I took this first. I thought it was something else he was saying. Because I'm gonna get into something else that Cuban said. Shout out to my guy Cuban Links. He's helped me do numbers on my page. Let me go back. This is why it's gonna make sense. This is what's crazy. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get a little crazy. Let's go here. Right? Let's go here.
This niggas want controversy. When you look at these podcasts, everybody's dissing your mother, you this. They feel like that's the only way to bring the views up. We even got my brothers doing rap battles over podcasts and shit, right? So everybody feel like the way to the promised land is everybody dissing each other. All right, Kiss. Unfortunately, me and you, let's go, chose to be the Harriet Tubmans of the game. What the fuck? You're not listening. We the Underground Railroad. We are here to preserve the culture. We are here to give people flowers. We are here to do this positive. I don't know if you turned around. Nobody wins positive. That's why when you watch the news, they be like 10 people killed today. You watch. All these other rap, hip-hop podcasts, they got you believing that they got to diss each other and diss people and doing all that to get
leave the dirty section
views.
alone.
No, they ain't the dirty section.
But I'm telling you that the same thing you saying is what you doing to the dirty section.
No, fuck the dirty section.
Let them get they back.
No, they call my mother Leslie. Fuck them. We not even talk. You want me to leave the dirty? All right, I'll leave them alone.
Let them get their
That's
back.
what you want me to say?
Yeah, man, leave them
They
alone.
love this shit. They feel like they get acknowledged.
Yeah, but it's
a big
another
boys
way to
watching
acknowledge them.
All right, I ain't going to diss
back.
Don't diss the dirty section no more.
Those my.
Okay, that's it. We move on. No more Aeon radio. No Good Morning Vietnam.
Leave them alone.
Fuck you niggas and suck my dick, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chill for Kiss. Listen, nah. That's going. Listen.
Yo.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you what my problem is, and y'all don't understand. So we got a positive show.
Yo.
We going to.
I ain't say that to follow up with, so we got a positive.
We
show.
do. Yo, Kiss, you know why? You don't be in the dirty section. Them niggas be killing me in the dirty
Cause you bothering them.
They
Man,
got me
let them
gay.
get their bag,
They got me
man.
gay. They got me, I'm a rat. I'm a gay. I'm pussy. I'm a thief. You can't even begin. Like, I've been called
You let all that
everything.
bother you, and you know.
I've been called everything in the game. Now, let me explain something to you, right? The problem is, this is the problem. This is the shit y'all might not understand or don't like, is if I'm interviewing somebody, we already going against the grain because we trying to be positive. So if I see somebody here, legend, and while I ask them a question and they speaking, I think of some shit like viral that they got something, and I stop and be like, but what about that?
Just let them finish, and then say the shit you think of. That's all we say.
That's what the
Yeah,
follow.
my feelings are hurt,
Rich
kids.
is here about to tell us Nas he was in the desert.
We got the Samoans here. This is
yo.
That's my man, Rocco and Rocco. Who's the wrestler? Nah, if y'all can see our crew outside, we got all the United Nations. Who's my man? Tatiki? What's the guy from
This thing is wilding today. I don't, yo, Rich, what kind of diet pack? What did you spike him with, dog? He's crazy. Oh, shit.
I'm no different than the little niggas. The little niggas, they made something out of nothing. They got to the paper. I can't tell them shit. The odds of you becoming successful as a rapper is 1 in maybe 100 million. And when I see a young boy over there in Bugattis and shit like that, even if I know what's good for him, I can't tell him nothing. Because he made the impossible happen. But when you fuck with me and you poke the bear, I turn into the little niggas. Because you can't tell me shit. We turned this bitch up. These guys wish, these competition, these podcasts, they loving this show. They're like, please slow him down.
They calling me.
Please talk him off.
Tell you the truth.
I'm telling you. Yo, listen, yo, K, the competition, they loving this show. This episode, they like, yes. Stop that nigga. He's a freight train moving. This guy know where he's going. He says it's I touched the third rail, the algorithm, the disc. I know what it is. It's cool. Today in hip hop and culture.
So people in the dirty section, right? Let me do this right here. Put it over there. So people in the dirty section, which is, I told you, I explained that when I got on here what the dirty section was, who's in the dirty section, who's face to the dirty section. A lot of them getting offended about what he said. But now, somebody got to add a little fire. They got to put a little flame. So this is why this is important. You got to pass somebody a little.
Jada, Kiss and Crack show, the podcast. I seen the clip, right? And to come find out, it's funny. It's funny. I mean, I got reprimanded. I got a lot of flack, right? Because I said at the SMD to Jada. But my excuse is I was drunk and I took it back, which is truth. So I stand on it. But now here's your guy, you know what I'm saying? The ones you defended, the let go is over, stop, and he's a good guy and all of that, and he's on his own podcast telling all the dirty section people in YouTube to SMD. He's not drunk, right? He really mean it, I guess. I really mean that. So how y'all feel about that? What y'all gonna do about it? I'm sure a lot of YouTubers take that personal, right? Because he didn't say no names. He said to the whole dirty section. So, the dirty section don't mean that, you a bum and you all of this. He thinks of the dirty section exactly what, certain people, the way they promote their channel or what content they choose to talk about, which is the streets. So he basically just said that the YouTube streets could SMD him. Let's see what y'all got to say about that, since y'all gave me all the flack about what I said about Jada, which I took it back and I was drunk. Y'all can see I was inebriated. Let's see what happens now. All right. Once again, I'm just narrating, just checking out what's going on. I hope y'all have a good day. Do your thing. I'm about to go work out.
All right. So that's Cuban Links. Cuban Links was down with Fat Joe. Him and Fat Joe are not, they're never going to be friends. They don't see eye to eye. at all. Um, and Cuban, he's like, yo, what do we? I can't say we because I'm not really in the dirty section, but I horse around my homies over there. But let me break this down because Fat Joe is going to explain it, and he did explain it. And y'all just, if you didn't listen to what he said, why he doesn't like the section. Here we go. Here's why I play devil's advocate. So, Fat Joe tells the title. He tells YouTubers, the dirty section to SMD, right? He's not, and he was like, yo, he's talking about this dirty section, everybody, and of course, but he also, Cuban, which was he's saying it, he's trying not to say what he want to say, but I'm gonna say it. When Fat Joe is shooting at the dirty section, he's not shooting at everybody over there in the dirty section. He's not. He's shooting only at the people who interview Cuban links or the dudes from jail that used to know Fat Joe, like they was his mans, but they locked up now, or people that used to be down with Fat Joe, or people that used to write for Fat Joe, or people that used to be down with Fat Joe in some kind of shape, form, or fashion are going on these platforms. And only the dirty section, and I really don't even want to say the dirty section. I want to add them to that because they're not talking about the same thing, but I guess so. I don't know. I don't watch some of the. I of course I hear the interviews. Of course I run into people like even now. Like I've talked to people who tell me like about ghostwriting and all kinds of special stuff. I don't even want to bring that up because I know this is a touchy subject. But I've talked to all kinds of people. That doesn't make Fat Joe not my favorite rapper. So even with all the, and I left that out, like he was my favorite rapper. Flo Joe, the freestyles, Fat Joe was my favorite rapper. He was one of the toughest, hardest rappers, pause, that was out when it came to lyrics and bars. I don't know what's going on after that. I know what I've heard in my ears. Every Fat Joe beat that when it came to like 2000, by the time it was like 2001, 3, and Fat Joe had those beats, I did all of Fat Joe beats over. Fat Joe used to be my favorite rapper. He was dope. He was dope. And especially when I started coming out of town, he was my favorite rapper. Love Fat Joe. Fat Joe was my favorite rapper. So I left that part out because I'm telling all these little stories. He's my favorite rapper. Going to fast forward to my guy Cuban Link. Like I said, shout out to Cuban Link. I've met Cuban, the cool guy, cool with my peoples, good dude. I can't question much because he knows they know each other. I don't know that part. I just know the stories that I told you and what I know, what I've seen, what I've heard. I told you my experience with Fat Joe. I don't know nothing. Pause. I don't know nothing else. But when he says the dirty section, he's only talking about the people that interview people that do not like him. If you listen to what he said, somebody said something about his moms. Somebody calls him a rat, a thief, for this. He's tired of getting shot. And when you're listening to what he's saying, he's human. He don't like it. He doesn't like it. He don't like it. He doesn't understand why these people are doing that. Like I said, I'm not there. I'm not even here to defend what they're saying. I'm just saying I'm kind of playing devil's advocate on Fat Joe, and I'm definitely playing devil's advocate for my guys in the dirty section. I want them to be like, yo, Fat Joe, yeah, about that. Even if it's probably already happened, I'm probably too late. The war's probably already on now. But I just feel like when he's saying the dirty section, he's not talking about the homies or anybody particular over there. But he is. He's talking about the guys that interview people that he has problems with. Women, men, women, whoever has a problem with Fat Joe and is allowing these people to get on these platforms and say the things that they're saying, that's who he's cursing out. That's who he's SMD. That's who's getting the middle fingers. That's who he's talking about. Because he's like, they love it. They love him. Like the only other person that he was beefing with that I was like, that's not on the dirty section is my guy Doggy Diamonds. Like they was going back and forth. Doggy Diamonds is like my mentor when it comes to this. You see, we got the same little. Doggy Diamonds is my mentor. I followed him. I followed Sub-Zero. Fat Joe too. That's why I said when he's doing video music, I learned how to do video music. I was watching him like, oh, because you got to think about when he's doing that. I really can't remember too many rappers hosting a show like that. He was hosting, like you see, what he did with Big L. He was doing that a lot. You didn't really see that much like that. You know what I'm saying? So Fat Joe was really an innovative, been doing that, like interviewing rappers and then look in the beginning, yo, he was alright, he was good. I used to really watch Fat Joe. All that to fast forward back to this. So for my guys in the dirty section, I feel like personally, if I'm wrong, he says something else, something like where you shooting at somebody in the dirty section that we know then you like, all right, I'm wrong. But I'm telling you, because remember, let's go back to Cuban Link. What Cuban Link had, remember, he was like he told Kiss SMD. I don't know if it was in the same footage, but there was footage out of Cuban Link saying that he was better than Kiss, or he want the smoke. Now, Cuban's nice. I'm not gonna tell you Cuban was something, bro. They really was gonna get behind Cuban's project because Cuban was dope. Cuban was really good at that time. Like he was super dope. And I'm not gonna lie, he can keep up. Listen, he can keep up with the good ones. I don't know how he is now, but then old Cuban back then, I'm not gonna lie to you, fam. Cuban was not a horse player. That's why Cuban be talking this smack. Cuban was on Bang Bang Boogie for a little while. He was on Bang Bang Boogie for a little while with him and what's my son? Lord Tariq and Hocus and a couple of other guys over there from the Bronx, and they put together the Bang Bang Boogie joint. I remember he was trying to get 50 to back it. I think he was gonna back it, but then as soon as he's gonna back it, I think Lord Tariq made a move. Somebody did a weird move and messed it up. I don't really remember getting to that, but Cuban was one of the nicest on there. Like Cuban was super nice on there. Like Cuban is not a joke. So can he keep up with Kiss? At a time, there was a time he could. Now I don't know because Kiss is still going. Like Kiss hasn't stopped. So I don't know. I haven't heard Cuban in a while. Shout out to Cuban. And I'm not saying no, but I don't know right now. I don't know about right now, Cuban. I don't know. But at a time, there was a time back then where you was like, Cuban is just as nice as a lot of them. Like he could get on a track with the best of them and spit. Cuban was not trash. I will say that. But he was on there saying how he was better than Kiss. And I don't know if in that same footage he told Kiss SMD. I don't know. He said he took it back because he was drunk. I don't know. But that talk is the talk that Fat Joe is talking about. He's upset that people that he does not mess with anymore are still allowed to get on platforms and say things about him, and he just doesn't like it. So he just like the dirty section. He doesn't, maybe because he's watching it and not knowing, he doesn't even care who the person's doing the interview. He just know that the person's talking crazy and he's calling that the dirty section because it's not on the high platforms. Nobody that's podcasting for real in their lane. That's why he said that's why he said we the Harriet Tubmans, we the underground, we about the culture. That's the kind of stuff I'm about. But I just wanted to get this clear. I want my people in the dirty section to feel like, oh, see Fat Joe. Nah, I think he's shooting at he's. I'm not gonna say I think it might be my opinion. Like I said, I might be wrong. If there's anything else extra, I've just said everything. Him beefing with, he was beefing with Doggy Diamonds, right? He was beefing with Doggy Diamonds. He tried to shoot at Doggy Diamonds um podcast over there. I forgot why. Big Brother Doggy, remind me again what happened. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember. Two, um, the beef with Cuban, people over there talking. Like I said, if you go and look for Fat Joe and people disinfect, it's a lot of people. Like it's a lot of people. Like I said, guys from jail, guys that you used to hear their name and kind of connected with Fat Joe. People had passed away beefing with him. Like a lot of people got beef with Fat Joe. It's the same thing, like I said about like with Jim Jones. Like, why? What happened? What did he do? You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm not even gonna go. I'm not digging anymore down that rabbit hole. You know some of the other things that was said about Joe that makes people say they don't mess with him and why and all that. I'm not here to shine light on that too much. I'm just here to tell you from the basics of what's going on. Oh, Fat Joe also did a video in my grandmother's videos. I think it's called Shit's Real. Wanted to the and stuck up my cuz. He did it right on my grandmother's floor too. Like he did it right right on the second floor. He does the scene right in my grandmother's hallway, right there on Prosperous. No, Fat Joe, I'm lying. With my grandmother's, my grandmother lived there for decades before that building was changed or shut down, whatever they did to it. And he did the scene right in my grandmother's building. Right, um he did his verses in front of the building, and he did a couple of scenes in that hallway. I think it's the Shit's Real joint. You know what I'm saying? Fat Joe's my favorite dude, man. Cause he used to be outside, fam. He's outside. But anyway, that's it. So I'm play devil's advocate. So I'm telling y'all, I feel like he's not shooting at everybody in the dirty section, the homies or whoever. I think he's shooting at anybody who's giving anybody who does not deal with him anymore a voice on their platform to talk bad about him. That's where he's at with it. He said he was talking about his mother. I didn't get to hear who said anything about his mom's. I'm not into that kind of stuff, but you definitely get some middle fingers and a couple of SMDs from me if you talk about my mama. I'm gonna just be real with you. You know what I'm saying? Um, and nobody want to be slandered. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to be slandered. Nobody wants to be slandered. I don't come on here. That's why I said we about the culture, but I'm truthful about what I'm talking about. So I didn't come on here and slander him at all, right? Fat Joe is I told you he's my favorite rapper. I told you everything. No slander. And I also got into the fact of I think I'm starting to understand. I understand. I watched when he first said the dirty sex. I was like, oh, Joe, crap. Why? Right? Then I watched my guy Doggy Diamonds go. They was having their little text wars, the little text fight in the comments and all that stuff for a little while. And Doggy Diamonds was, joking on his legs and all kinds of stuff, right? And then Fat Joe was taking shots on the show, but without trying to say stuff, but beefing with him in the comments. And then that stopped because Doggy Diamonds, like I said, he was on Drink Champs. And the same way I revere him, is the same way Nori revered him. Like, nah, you one of the legends, woo, woo, woo. So maybe that's why he stopped. But because he is a legend, he just does things his way. Like it's like me. I could do big production, go to the studio, do the background. We sometimes you just want to just go in and just say what you gotta say and build your platform like that without having to do all the lights and the cameras and the special stuff, especially if the content is good. And like I said, he's right. One thing about Fat Joe that he said that was 100% right was I'm on here talking good about Fat Joe. I'm not on here crapping on him or saying I told stories that's told in the Bronx that he could say yes, no, woo, 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 right? Um, but I'm out here slandering him. You know what I'm saying? I do this for the culture of people that are in hip hop that talk about, they might say Fat Joe's capping or all the little things that they say. Maybe if you watch this, you'll go, okay, this guy said he was outside. He seen Joe with his eyes, he seen him with stuff. He's seen him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's not as bad, or maybe he's not as fake or whatever. I can't tell you nothing else after that. I cannot tell you any insight. I told you I've heard Fat Joe have fights. I know somebody that thinks Fat Joe did something bad, and they really think it was Fat Joe. Like they're point break, they point blank know that Joe did something, but I can't talk about it. That's not something I could talk about. But like they saw him. But other than that, man, when it comes to you guys saying the dirty section and all that stuff, everybody don't be offended. I don't think everybody should be offended. Fat Joe, I need to know about this coat. I need to know about the cowhide. That's what it's called. I can't remember what the name of that coat is. That cowboy coat with I call it the Indiana. I want to call it the Indiana Jones coat, but it's more like that long cowhide with the flap, the extra flap. You know what I'm talking about? What cowboys wear it. Then he had the cowboy hat. I don't know what's going on, Fat Joe. Please let me know what was going on during that time. All right, we over the time 1:30. Listen, I hope you enjoyed my little story. Hey, if it does something, it does something. It does nothing, it's okay. I'm gonna keep going. Fat Joe, man, was outside. I heard stories about fights. I can't tell you I heard all the stories and the Fat Joe met the guy. I can't the stories he tells, he tells. Was he outside? Yes. Was he everywhere? Yes. Was he because remember he was like in between. So of course he's gonna go to Chicago. Of course he's gonna be on 145th. Of course he's gonna be in Miami. Of course, because he's like, and I told you what his rep was. His rep wasn't, oh snap, Fat Joe, let me get a picture. It was more like you kind of was a little nervous. And if you're standing around a lot of guys, you're even more nervous. You feel what I'm saying? So that part. Anyway, listen, I gotta go. I appreciate y'all for listening, taking the time out to check me out. World's Strongest Hustler. This is called The Fan Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Bang TV is my company. I just want to do this under the fan because as a fan, I want to tell these fan stories. They're not rapper stories. And not I'm not on here to if there's some foulness in the story, then there's foulness in the story. But other than that, everything's all true. You know what I'm saying? Where's my thing there? You know what I'm saying? It went away when I put this thing up. It's no. All right. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm gonna see y'all guys another day. I got more story. I got more stories for y'all if y'all willing to hear them. I got more stories about other rappers. They're dope stories. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're cool. You know what I mean? But just that's loud. But you know what I mean? But at the same time, they're great, dope stories. And they're told from a fan's perspective. I tell you from a fan's, I don't tell you from um a rapper's perspective. Yeah, because it's just, like the Biggie story. Once again, I just broke down everything I saw. I was not dissing him. Like if you listen to the Biggie joint, you see the cartoon. It's at 901. I appreciate y'all. I break down what he had on, what he was doing, and nobody said nothing. Nobody else said nothing to me about it. But I'm just telling the truth. He might just threw on a pair of boots and came outside. Like I told you what I thought happened. But I'm gonna tell the story again. I'm not gonna mess it up because I might have to tell the story again. So yeah, I got the little cartoon and I told the story on my man's platform. So I'm gonna tell it again on this platform. And we're gonna go from there. All right. Bang TV, World's Strongest Hustler, the fan is now leaving the building. I'm gonna check y'all guys out another time. Stay tuned, stay locked in. Listen, subscribe, like. If you want to hear more stories, at least subscribe. I'm giving out free stories. I'm not charging. Like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Play this in your country, play this in your city, play this at your crib. This ain't that. This ain't the crazy, yo, son, he's a liar. He be capping. I'm not doing all that. I'm trying to tell stories that do help the code, that maybe give you a little understanding. I'm asking why. I'm going opposite. You saying he did, I'm saying why. That's all. I'm out of here, man. We out of here. World's Strongest Hustler. What was I playing? Was it this one? I don't even remember no more. I think wasn't that one. I think it was this one. All right, we'll see you later. We're going to finish off this one. All right.